Cuckoo woman says Biden and Harris sent Hurricane Milton. MOCA says they have recovered billions of dollars for the government. Foreigner shot dead in conflict at a dance with off-duty policeman. The Reggae boys and Honduras played to a 0-0 draw. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. A Cuckoo woman says that Hurricane Milton was made by Biden and Harris. The Republican Party is no more and seems to have been replaced by another party not yet named. I listened to an interview yesterday where a woman from that party was doing an interview, and she said that the current government was the one that created the hurricane that hit Florida and several states to wipe out Republican voters. Of course, the man doing the interview was not amused and asked again, why would a government create a storm to attack its own country? She was straight with her answer that the areas that got hit the most are the counties that have mostly Republican voters. And people, she actually believed this because their leader and the channels they listen to have people just as cuckoo as her. And this is what they listen to all day long, and by listening to these nonsense over and over, they start to believe it. Remember, the man that is currently their leader said so himself that if you repeat a lie over and over and over, the Republicans will start to think it is true, so just keep on repeating. Over in Jamaica, the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency MOCA has been successful in recovering billions of dollars from the forfeiture of assets and cash from people convicted of drug trafficking, fraud, and other crimes. And this was revealed in the Senate on Friday by the leader of government business, Kamina Johnson-Smith, during a debate on amendments for the first schedule of the MOCA Act, which seems to give the anti-corruption agency more power to investigate offenses such as simple larceny, predial larceny, and breaches of the Fisheries Act. She said the government raked in several billions of dollars, 248 million from one account, 486 from another, and $154 billion worth of property, hundreds of vehicles that will be placed up for auction. Meanwhile, the police have arrested and charged two teenagers who allegedly robbed a man of his iPhone 16 Pro Max and cash amounting to $200,000 on the Heavy Sand Main Road in Witham in Westmoreland on Friday, October 4th. The teenagers, who cannot be identified, have been charged with robbery with aggravation in relation to the incident. Reports are that about 7 p.m., a man was walking along the roadway when he was allegedly pounced upon by both teens whom he knew, one armed with a knife and the other with a machete. And it is alleged that the teens demanded the man's phone and cash before escaping on foot in the area. A report was subsequently made to the police, and the police escorted the man to the home address of the teens where they were positively identified. They were both arrested and later charged, and their court date is now being finalized. A tire repairman of Sandy Bay, Hanover, has been charged with assault occasioning bodily harm and robbery with violence after he beat a woman in her home and then made off with her purse on Friday. And he has been identified as 30-year-old Ian Buchanan. According to the police, about 1:26 p.m., Buchanan went to the woman's house to visit her. However, she asked him to leave, but he refused. An argument reportedly developed, and Buchanan allegedly hit the woman multiple times, causing bruises and swellings to her body. And it is further alleged that he then robbed the woman of her handbag, which contained money and other items. A report was made to the police, and Buchanan was later arrested and charged after being pointed out by the woman, and his court date is now being finalized. The parliamentary opposition has condemned the actions of criminals who last week forced a contractor to stop work to improve the section of the Mandela Highway through Central Village. The National Works Agency said the work crew carrying out the preparatory work for the patching of the road left the area after criminals tried to extort the contractor. Minister of Works Robert Morgan has said as a result there will be heightened security around the government road repair program in troubled communities to combat extortion. Spokesperson on traffic Michael Phillips said it is unfortunate that the government has to resort to using the security forces for protection on road projects. He, however, acknowledged that these kinds of incidents occurred in the past, but said he hoped the country would not return to a time like that. And the government members seems to be pretending as if this is something new. This never did stop and has always been an ongoing thing. It might just now affect one of their friends while we're hearing about it. The Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, has launched a probe into the fatal shooting of a Jamaican man who lived in the United States by an off-duty policeman at an event in Iwaton, St. Catherine on Sunday night. The deceased has been identified as 34-year-old Vivian Francis, who resides in East Windsor in New Jersey. and it's reported that Francis and the policeman got into a dispute at the event at the Everton Sports Complex sometime after 10 p.m. And during the dispute, Francis allegedly pulled a knife, stabbed the policeman, who shot him, and he was pronounced dead at hospital. The policeman was reportedly forced to retreat from the venue after he was attacked by angry patrons. Meanwhile, detectives of the Criminal Investigation Branch, the CIB, are probing a deadly attack on the compound of the Russell Primary School on Ricketts Avenue in St. Andrew yesterday afternoon, and it's reported that a parent was shot and killed sometime after 2 o'clock in view of other parents and students. It's reported that the man drove onto the compound of the school to pick up his daughter when he was attacked and shot by two armed men as he exited his vehicle. Investigators are trying now to establish a motive for that shooting. Over in Spanish Town, Spanish Town has gone back to a challenge for the murder capital of Jamaica after 4 persons were killed over the weekend. The CCU confirmed the names of 2 individuals, one of whom was Bradley Orr, who was killed on Young Street on Saturday. Another man, 25-year-old Adrian Booth, was killed by unknown attackers on Marchpen Road about 1:24 p.m. on Sunday, and there are also unconfirmed reports that a man's body was found in the vicinity of Distinction College at the corner of Nugent and Wellington Street in the Old Capital. On to sports, Jamaica Reggae boys booked a spot in the quarterfinals of the CONCACAF Nations League last night with a dull 0-0 draw against Honduras at the National Stadium in Kingston, but that was enough to make them top Group B in League A. Jamaica, who won their last 2 games after an exciting draw against Cuba, ended the round on 8 points and would advance to the next round, which is set for November. Honduras were second on 7 points, followed by Trinidad and Tobago on 5 and Nicaragua on 4, rounding out the top 4. On to Doncaster Cup. In the final round, we had Denby beating Lennon 4-1. Rossies were 5-1 winners over Nakalva. Cambridge and Anchovy played to a 0-0 draw. Frome Tech were 4-0 winners over Green Island. Belfield and Alphonso Davis played to a 2-2 draw. Clarendon College and Central played to a 0-0 draw. Second round will begin today with Port Antonio clash with Dintil at Carter Park, and there will be several Manning Cup games played today as their first round is still not over. And that's news and sports on your favorite radio. My name is Mikey Bounce. I gone.